Hi everyone, Ravi this side. Welcome to Engineering Adda. Today in this video, we are going to discuss about the method reference in Java 8. In the previous video, we have discussed about the static and default method introduced in Java 8 in very detail. In this video, we are going to discuss about the method reference in detail. So first of all, we are going to discuss what is method reference and what are the different type of method reference introduced in Java 8. And then practically we'll see how we can use them in our coding. So let's get started for that, and let me try to go to the next slide and discuss about the method reference first. So what is method reference? In Java 8, method reference provides a concise way to refer to a method without executing them. So it is a way to access a method in a very concise way. They are a shorthand notation for lambda expression to invoke methods. So you can see at the place of lambda expression, you can use the method reference to invoke the method. Okay, so how we are using the lambda expression to call the method inside those functional interfaces like consumer, supplier, predicate. The same way we can call the method inside those functional interfaces using the method reference as well. Okay, so at the place of lambda expression, we can use the method reference to call the methods. Now method references help in simplifying lambda expression when the lambda's sole purpose is to call a method. So this is about the method reference. Now let me try to go to the next slide and discuss about the different type of method references available in Java 8. So here you can see the static method reference. Okay. So before going to discuss about the different type of method references, let me try to tell you how the method reference would look like. So here you can see at this place, you can see that we have given a syntax called class name and then double colon and then method name. So this double colon is called as a method reference, and this is the notation of the method reference. With the help of that notation, you can call the method. Okay, so this is about the how the method reference will look like, and it depends upon the type of method reference that you are going to use. What you can use before the double semicolon, like class name or let's say the method reference, or you can say the object reference. So based upon the type of method reference, you can use this or you can replace this, the first part. So here you can see we are discussing about the static method reference. So let me try to tell you what a static method reference is or how it look like. References to a static method. This refers to a static method using the syntax class name and then the method reference syntax and then method name. So when you are going to use the static method, then you have to provide the class name and then you have to provide the method reference syntax, which is double colon, and then you have to provide the method that you want to access. Okay, how we are directly going to call the static method using the class name with the dot notation, the same way you can use the method reference to call the static method of that particular class with the class name. Okay, so this is how the static method reference syntax would look like. You have to provide the class name, then the double colon, and then you have to provide the method that you want to access. Make sure that this method is static in nature. Okay, now let me try to tell you the example here. So you can see we have the list of numbers. Okay, and in the numbers we have the 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Now how you can call this list of numbers, how you can print this list of numbers using for each with the help of method reference and with the help of lambda expression, that is what noted down below. So you can see this numbers.for each, and inside that for each you have to provide the consumer reference, right? The for each takes the consumer, and in the consumer we have the except method. Okay, so how you can pass out this method reference in for each where it is expecting a consumer. You can see that we are just calling this system.out and then we are calling this println method with the help of method reference. So here the system is the class, out is the static variable of type print stream, and print stream is also a class which contains the println method. So with the help of this static reference, we are calling the println method. Okay, so this is one of the example of static method reference. Okay, now downside you can see at the place of this static method reference, we can also use the lambda expression, and you already have seen that when we are going to use the for each method, we have to pass a consumer reference there. For each takes the consumer, and inside the consumer you have one single abstract method which is accept, and you have to call that accept, and this is how with the help of lambda expression we are calling that accept here. Okay, and the lambda expression can be replaced with the above code, which is the static method reference. So this is a very good example of the method reference. Now let me try to go to the next slide and discuss about the other method references, like instance method reference of a particular object, you can say. So this is a kind of instance method reference. Now reference to an instance method of a particular object. This refers to an instance method using the syntax object reference and then double colon and then method name. So with the help of object reference, you can call the instance method with the help of double colon. Okay, how we are calling the instance method of a class with the help of the object of that class with the dot notation. Similar way, you can call the method name with the help of double colon when you are going to use the object reference there. So this is example of instance method reference. So downside you can see we have listed out the example. Here you can see we have the string text, and in the text we have the hello world, and then we are using this functional interface which is function, which taking the integer as an argument and returning a string out of that. So you might already have aware that the function takes one input and give you the other output. Okay, so in the function we have the apply method that take one input. Let's say it is taking the input here as an integer type and return one output as a string. So that is what we have listed out here. The function input is integer type and output is string type, and its reference is function, or you can say func. Okay, now what we are going to use is, here we have the object reference which is text, and with the help of object reference we are calling the substring method of that string class. Okay, so this is the example of the instance method reference. This can also be replaced like function, integer, string, function, and with the help of lambda expression you can directly call the substring method using this instance, or you can say the string instance which is text here. Okay, so this is an example of instance method reference. Okay, where with the help of instance we are calling the method inside that class. Now let me try to go to the next slide and discuss about the instance method reference of an arbitrary object of a particular type. So this is also a kind of instance method reference. Reference to an instance method of an arbitrary object of a particular type. This refers to an instance method using the syntax class name and the method name. Okay, this is also an example of instance method reference, but here we are using the class name and then calling the method name. So here you can see we have the list of string which is words, and inside that we have the list of fruits like apple, banana and oranges. Now if you want to sort out this list, then with the help of method reference you can directly call the compare method of the string. Okay, so you can see here in the second last line what we are doing is we are just using this word list which is containing the list of fruits, and then we want to sort it out. So inside the sort method we are using the method reference to call the compare to ignore case method of the string. This is also being called with the help of lambda expression which is listed down on the last line. So with the help of lambda expression also you can just call this compare to ignore case method, but you can use the method reference as well to call the compare to ignore method. So this is a kind of instance method reference of an arbitrary object of a particular type. Okay. Now let me try to go to the next slide and discuss about the constructor reference. So reference to a constructor, this refers to a constructor using the syntax called class name and new. So you can see downside, we have listed down the example for it. So let's say how you try to invoke a object with the help of new keyword, right? So similar way, you can use the constructor reference to call or to invoke a new object there. So downside, we have listed out the example. You can see we have the supplier, which is taking list of a string, and you can say that we are just trying to invoke a new list with the help of array list, and using the new keyword to invoke that list. You can see this like supplier, which is taking the list of a string, and its name is list supplier, and then after the equal to we have the array list, and we are providing the method reference sign, and then with the help of new keyword we are just trying to create a array list which can be assigned to this list of supplier. Okay, and this can also be done with the help of lambda expression, which is passing a lambda and then trying to create a new array list. You can see this right at the downside. So this is how you can use the constructor reference. Okay, so let me try to go to the next slide and discuss about the summary of the method references. So method references are particularly useful when a lambda expression directly calls an existing method without additional logic. So you just try to note down this term is method references are particularly useful when a lambda expression directly calls an existing method without additional logic. So when you are going to put some logic inside that method that you are going to call, make sure you are not going to use the method reference. This is for the simple method call. Okay, so when you are going to use some logic, or when you are going to write the logic inside the method that you are going to call, make sure you are calling it with the lambda expression. It gives you some freedom to write down those logic, right? But at the place of lambda expression, when you are going to replace that with the method reference, make sure that those methods that you are going to call with the method reference are the simples to use method. You are not going to put any logic there. So this is one of the difference between the lambda expression and the method reference. They make the code more readable and concise by avoiding unnecessary repetition of the code. So this is one of the advantage of this method reference. They make the code more readable and concise by avoiding unnecessary repetition of the code. So this is about the method reference, and now what I will do, I will go to the IntelliJ and try to create one project, and practically will try to use all of this method reference example, and then practical implementation will do there. So let me try to come out of it and go to the IntelliJ and create one project there.